Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man, and I thank you for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video that I initially wasn't going to post to do. And me personally, when I have some things that are debatable or that I think there's an issue, I run it past other people to get their insight, just to see if am I the only one seeing this or reading into this in the way that it's supposed to be read into, or am I totally off the mark? So before I read what I'm about to read, I ran it across a few people, one of my boss, and my boss said, yeah, you need to defend your product because what has been described here is not true. So I decided to post this because at first I wasn't going to post it. I'm just going to deal with the issue quietly and just let it go. But I think the masses need to hear this because I do good things on my channel. And the product that I sell is extremely low, very inexpensive, and very useful. Regarding my learn how to play the rhythm guitar lessons, a lot went into that. And it's worth far more than $40. The reason why it's only $40 to help you guys. It's not about I'm trying to make some money here because, that was the furthest from my mind. I was trying to put together something for you guys to help you guys. But, in the real world, you got to pay for what you get. You can't just, in a perfect world, everybody gets shit for free, but it doesn't work that way. So, you got to charge people for your time and your effort. And it's actually an investment on their part. So, I've sold hundreds of those lessons over the years, and I've never had anybody complain. Never had anybody say, I want my money back. This ain't what I thought it was going to be. Really, because it's really self-explanatory. And that's what makes it so valuable because when I first started to learn how to play the guitar, the majority of the stuff that they taught me didn't make any sense to me. That's why I abandoned it because I can't grasp this. It doesn't make any sense. So taking that experience and putting it or incorporating that concept into my lessons as far as make this real simple for anybody. I got people that I show this lesson to that don't play guitar. It makes sense to them. I don't think they got to do to apply it if they want to become guitar players, but they're not interested. But I did that to prove a point to make sure that what I'm doing is coherent. Because the majority of the manuals that I used to look through to build stuff, I get angry because I'm like, it's written in a way that I already know how to do this. And if I already know how to do this, I don't need the manual, But there's some people that are really kind of out of touch as far as how to make it real simple, And I get comments on a daily basis as far as, thank you for these lessons, man. Thank you for showing us the chords. Because a lot of this stuff is not in sheet music. It's never been printed. So it's like, I can't figure it out because I don't have a good enough ear like you do, Morris, man. So I truly appreciate what you do every day. So I got an email from a gentleman, and it read this verbatim. Good morning. I purchased your course in good faith based on your description in the video. After receiving it, I realized this is not a course. It's just a collection of your personal thoughts and personal preferences about rigs, which has nothing to do with learning how to play the guitar as advertised. And here is why this is important, because I think what he was addressing was this, because I touch on a lot of stuff. And one of them was how to buy and select a guitar. Now, I'm going to tell you why that's important, especially when you're a beginner. Now, it's real simple. And there's some people that might debate me on this, but most won't. What's most important about your guitar is not how much it costs. It's not who made it. It's not what it sounds like. It's not what it looks like. It's the fucking action on the guitar, meaning the ratio from the strings to the fretboard. Because when they're real high, it's hard to play and it hurts your hands like crazy. Trust me, I'm a professional musician. I play 8, 9, 10 hours a day. So I got to have my action low. That's different if you're struggling through a 5-minute song with some jacked up action. You can survive and get through it. But when you're playing for hours at a time, you want your shit low. I did a poll on people to say, oh, how many people want their stuff low versus high? One person said high, and the reason why he said high, which made a lot of sense, was he plays slide guitar. So when you do play slide guitar, you need your strings up higher, but other than that, you want your strings lower. So I mentioned that, and I walk you through why that's important, because especially for the beginner, you already have the daunting task to learn how to play the guitar. So now you don't want it to be coupled with, now I'm struggling painfully with the guitar and trying to play it, because when you get, especially right out the gate, when you get a cheap guitar, because no one tells you, if I was a music teacher and somebody came to me and said, I want lessons, I say, okay, and they said they didn't have a guitar yet, I would help assist them in buying a guitar and letting them know why it's important to have low actions first, as far as going out there getting a $60 guitar because you first start to learn how to play, and it's a cheap guitar and you're not going to put too much of investment in this yet because you're not sure, you're not even going to complete the, the process of learning, but it's really important to know that. And I include that in my DVD lessons, and that's not taken away from I'm teaching you how to play the guitar. That's extra added information for free. So I'm sorry that he misinterpreted that I gave him too much or a whole lot of this and maybe not enough of this, when actually I gave you enough of this. It's real simple. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. The information that I give you in those lessons, especially DVD lesson number 1, just start to practice. There's no mystery to it. There's no more that needs to be added. Just practice what I've given you. The information that I've given you, the knowledge, just start practicing, working on it, because it's all about continually be able to practice to get better. It's not that you need to learn a whole lot of stuff to be a good guitar player. No, you just need to know this much and work on it and get perfected. That's it. I'm sorry that some people interpreted it that there needs to be more because it's not as much as you think it should be. It's not going to be effective. Trust me, dude. That's not true. Again, DVD lesson number 1, just those chords that I teach you, the major, minor, minor 7, the 4th, suspended 4th, and I think maybe 2 more. There's like only 5 chords you got to work on. And you'll be able to play 90% of the stuff on the radio because 90% of the stuff on the radio have those chords. Now, there are some exotic chords that you're going to run across, and then DVD number 2 or 3, I walk you through how to, work on those chords, because they're not going to come up in every song. But the major chord, minor 7 chords, suspended 4, and most chord songs, those chords are going to come up. And most of them, if not almost all of them. So that's why right out the gate, I give you the stuff that you're going to have to use on a daily basis when you're playing. And then the other DVDs, I give you other exotic chords that every now and then when they pop up, it's like, okay, Moses, man, tell me how to play that. And then it's real simple. I did a Katie Lang song called Custom Craven. It's a beautiful song. There's some chords in that song I've never played in my life. So it's real simple. I know what they are. I'm reading sheet music. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to get the right voicing. I Google it. Thank God for the internet that you can now Google stuff and get different voicings that match up. And the E flat 13 suspended chord that was in that song, I tried 2 other inversions, and when I stumbled onto the 3rd one, I said, this is the one that works. This is the one I hear on the radio, on the record. So it's just that simple. Now, I'm not sure how he missed the lesson. The first DVD walks you through learning these chords. The first one. If you just had the first DVD and the chord chart, you'll be able to play 90% of the stuff that I play, because it's just that simple. Because how I put together this lesson was a combination of how I was taught from my last teacher from the Conservatory of Music. He gave me this package, explained it to me. It made sense. And the only thing I had to do at that point was to apply it. So I'm like, I really don't have to go back to you next week, because the only thing you're going to do is touch on this again, and you've already given me this. So I'm just going to take this and run with it. And then also, the lessons were extremely expensive. So I'm like, just that one lesson and gave me the chord chart. I do what I do. And I do a good job because, as you guys know, I got over 4,000 videos collectively. I got probably just about more videos than most guys to do what I do on YouTube. Not everybody, but most. Because again, I mentioned the other day, the heavy hitters like Marty Schwartz and the Groovy guy, they got maybe like 2,000 videos. I got 4 to almost 5,000, So, again, I don't know how this person missed the lesson, because you can look at it this way, because it is this way. I teach you how to play the rhythm guitar, not the lead guitar, the rhythm guitar, and I give you a whole lot of insight. Like he mentioned here, he believed this is just a bunch of my personal thoughts and preferences. No, I gave you the lessons, and then I give you a whole lot of insight. I try to give you as much information as possible to make you a good player, because it's real simple. There was something that my music teachers never told me, and I went to at least 3 of them at that point, if not 4 before. It dawned on me, when they teach you, they have a certain format, and it drags out. They give you stuff that you never use and don't give you enough stuff that you need to apply to play music. And what ends up happening is I'm sitting here, trying to play my favorite songs with the information that they gave me. And I'm like, it doesn't sound like the dudes on the record. And the reason being is, and nobody ever told me that, and I mentioned that in my DVDs, and I mentioned this in these free videos, that as far as the chords that they teach you in the normal music class, it's first position. And first position is mainly for folk music, country music, rock ballads, and occasionally some R&B ballads. But it's rare that you go on here R&B ballad played in first position. Rare. Nobody ever told me that. Nobody. And I mentioned that and tons of other stuff that he considers my personal thoughts. And they are, but they're helpful to you to learn how to play the guitar. Real simple stuff that is explained that goes a long way. That's just like the number one killer in a black man is prostate cancer. But if somebody would have told me, well, I was probably 13, 14 years old, here, start eating these pumpkin seeds, a few every day. They don't cost that much and they don't taste bad. That would limit your chances of contacting or developing prostate cancer by 60%, 70%. So little things like that could save your life, literally save your life. So finishing the message, I'm requesting a full refund in good faith rather than going to PayPal and file a complaint based on misrepresentation. I just sent him his money back because I'm like, I'm not going through all this for $40. $40 is not going to make or break me. And I sent it in download. And what some people don't know, because if he would have took it to PayPal, he would have lost. But I'm like, I'm not going through this. I'm not having them send me emails and I'm going back and forth with this for $40. Real simple. And this is a good example. When you buy a software program, you break that seal and you put it in your computer and you download to your computer, you can't get your money back. Because the manufacturer cannot unget what he's giving you. If it's a physical guitar that I sold you, send you the guitar back. I get the guitar back. You get your money back. It's a done deal. But when you break that seal and use that product, you can't get your money back. And it's obvious why you can't. So, I just decided to refund the money because I'm like, out of hundreds of purchases of my DVD lessons, I've never had anybody to complain, this ain't guitar lessons. So I'm like, it's interesting, and I guess by the law of average, you're going to find a handful of people in certain situations where they're not going to represent the masses because, again, everybody has purchased it, have been pleased. It has accelerated their plan because I cut straight to the chase. I don't give you a bunch of fluff that you're paying for that's going to take you years to get through. And by the time you get through it, you're still not able to play the stuff on the radio because what music teachers should do as I've gotten older and realized is they should prep you to getting where you're trying to go. And where you're trying to go is real simple. Everybody that wants to play an instrument, in most cases, and I actually would say almost everybody, they hear stuff off the radio that they like. And they say, man, I would love to be able to play that. So you go in search of someone that can teach you how to play the guitar to play that. And most music teachers do not prep you towards the actual playing of songs. All they're doing is kind of teaching you theory, hand techniques, and stuff of that nature. That's fine, but 90% of that stuff they teach you, you're never going to use. But you've paid thousands and thousands of dollars for that knowledge, as opposed to $40 that you give me, which is an investment in you. You're not giving me $40, and I show you. And this is not a shortcut; it's an accelerated way of learning and approaching how to play the guitar. And how again these lessons came about was people kept asking me, man, you play pretty well, and I play professionally for a living. Could you put something together to teach us how to play and how to get to where you're going? And for years, I said, I'm not a teacher. They kept asking me, said, please try. So I said, you know what, let me sit down and map out something that will be coherent. And that's the first thing that I was concerned about. Will you be able to understand this? Because if not, it's a waste of your time and your money and a waste of my time putting it together. So, after 2 or 3 years of people asking me, I decided to sit down and try to do it. And I spent like 4 months, and I was proud of what I put together because I'm like, I think a child could understand this. It's not that difficult. You just got to know what you need to know to work on to become a good rhythm guitar player, So, like I said, sold hundreds of these, and I've never had anybody want my money back because this ain't representing the way. You got your money back, dude. Be on your way, And And I'm not trying to be negative or anything like that, but I don't understand how the lesson was missed. You know, again, I give you the lessons, and I give you a lot of insight on things, you know, because I touch on things in these lessons that are connected to music, you know, but they're not exactly at the moment showing you how to play the guitar, but it's important to know these things so you can play the guitar better. And some of them, again, as far as, you know, that whole first position thing is just for, you know, country and folk music. It's not for R&B. So if you're trying to play a Rick James or Confunction song with based on what you were taught, which is just open chord positions, you're not gonna be successful. It ain't gonna sound nothing close to it. And then I even touch on, and these are freebies that I put in. It's not that you're paying for this stuff. You know, you're paying for this, but I just thought it would be nice to give you extra stuff. You know, things like there's one DVD where I talk about how when you get to the point where you can play, and you might want to post some stuff on YouTube. I know there's a DVD where I walk you through the process because I didn't know how to do that. And I contacted a bunch of people on YouTube. How do you do what you do? You know, how do you hook up the camera to the you know, to the internet, and how do you hook up the guitar and the music to the video or your camera so you can play along? And no two people have the same setup. I've come to find out through my research. You know, but I walk you through how to do that, you know, and that's a value within itself. You know, so I guess it's unfortunate that perhaps this individual thought, Mr. Walton, Tracy Walton, thought that I was not giving him what he paid for, when actually I gave you what you paid for. I just gave you more, you know, stuff that's not, again, immediately tied to playing the guitar, but it's connected to that. You know, because again, at some point in time, you might want to be able to, you know, post a few things to let people know, or your friends or family say, hey, I'm beginning to get good. Hear me, you know. So those were free things. Those were not to be, I guess, misinterpreted as this is what I paid for, and it ain't what I paid for, you know. And I'm like, no, I just gave you extra stuff, you know. So I thought I would post this video because I'm defending my product. You know, I stand behind my product. I'm proud of my product. You know, hundreds of people have been successful in learning how to play the rhythm guitar with the course. You know, because I could have just not said nothing, just gave him his $40 back, sent him on his way. But I thought it was important to post this video because, again, what I provide is 10 times more of what it's worth. And I do a good job as far as teaching you guys how to play because, you know, just a week ago, a gentleman said to me, he said, man, I thank you for your channel because I've always been an inspiring musician. And my dad liked this particular song. He said my dad was dying from stage 3 cancer. He said I was able to play that song for him before he died. Thanks to you. And I'm going to leave you with that. Till next time, take care. Thanks for watching.